Thanks. Hello again, and welcome to our second webinar in this three-part partner series. And as always, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rob Underwood, and I'm the Senior Support Engineer here at Aquafatus. The focus of this webinar is about our newest addition to cloud authoring. It is the ability to export fixed layout Epub 3 files as text and not just as images from cloud authoring, beginning with a PDF. These Epub files are both searchable and selectable, and also editable within the cloud authoring system. Let's begin. I'd first like to show you the file I started from. This is the PDF viewed in Adobe Acrobat Pro. It was a PDF exported out of InDesign, and as you can see, the text is selectable. Now, this is the end result. This is an Epub 3 fixed layout file viewed in iBooks on my iPad. You will notice that the rendering is perfect. It looks exactly like the PDF. And when I zoom in, the text remains crystal clear because it is indeed still text. You can also see that the text is selectable. And if I expose the search feature in iBooks, you can also see that this text is searchable. We have a lot of competitors that state that their EPUBs are text. But if you open up the hood of these EPUBs, you can see that they are actually putting an image of the page as a background, and then they put the actual text over it as transparent text. And of course, this can severely bloat the file size of your EPUB. For example, you could have a PDF that was 4 megabytes, but if every page is rendered as an image, that same EPUB file could be 400 megabytes, because of course every page is rendered as an image. What you need to be aware of is that since we maintain the text, we embed the fonts in the EPUB that are embedded in the PDF. Therefore, you must have the right to use the fonts embedded in the PDF in order for them to render correctly in cloud authoring. Now let's take a look at how we create this type of EPUB in cloud authoring. And you should know that this feature is available right now in cloudauthoring.com. I would recommend using Chrome as your browser for right now. We are working on compatibility with other browsers, but at this moment in time, it is 100% compatible with Google Chrome. You start by adding a project. You will now see that we have a new interface when you begin your project in cloud authoring. From the start of the project, you can decide if your final output will be for EPUB, ZAVE, or our web reader format. To stick with the focus of this webinar, I will only choose the EPUB format. Now, you will notice that you have two choices. You can create a fixed layout EPUB that is rendered as an image, which is, of course, is suitable for comic books. Or you can create a fixed layout EPUB that is actual text, like I just showed you in iBooks. I will pick the new fixed layout Epub 3 based on text and choose Save. I'll select the same general relativity PDF I use for the EPUB I just showed you. For the upload options for this type of EPUB, you really don't need to choose either None, Smart Zooming, or Smart Reading. None, of course, would not try to render any Smart Reading boxes. Smart Zooming is a moot point because you already have the ability to zoom into EPUB files. You may want to pick Smart Reading if you plan on adding the Smart Reading for Nook and Amazon, and if you want to export it all from the same file. I'll leave mine set to Smart Reading, and then I'll choose Upload. Once the file has been uploaded, I can define the metadata for the EPUB files. A nice addition to this section is that you can now hold the Shift key and select multiple EPUB formats all at once. You can then fill out all the Epub metadata once, and it will be applied to all your different Epub file output types. Of course, metadata is mandatory and would have to be filled out, but for the sake of time, I'll jump over this section. You will now see that in the export window for this project, I only see Epub, because that was the only file type I chose back in that new window when I defined the project. Because I haven't applied a license, only 5 pages have been rendered. So in order for the whole project to be rendered, you must assign a license and build your document again. I'll jump into an already rendered project to save time and choose the Enrich section. Now this is what I've been waiting to show you. This is the exciting part. The text has now been rendered as actual editable text here in Cloud Authoring in this browser window. I can select the text and I can edit it in the content box on the right, and it automatically updates on the page. You might be asking, how is this even possible? For those of you that are savvy to, say, InDesign server technology, you know that this wouldn't be possible. The file would have to be sent back to the InDesign server, rendered on the server, and then a preview would update. As many of you know, we have been very busy here at Aquafatis developing the HTML5 web reader technology. During that development, we realized something very special, an epiphany, if you will. We had previously spent a lot of time and effort developing the conversion of InDesign files to the Epub format. And internally, we realized something very important. It was way easier to convert a PDF into HTML, and then convert that HTML into an EPUB3 file. So what you are seeing here is a PDF that has been converted to HTML5. Because of that conversion, the HTML itself is fully editable within this browser window in real time. Now that you've seen this, let's have a real conversation about the current state of EPUBs. As many of you probably know, Adobe is now offering the export of EPUB fixed layout files from InDesign CC 2014 with interactivities created natively in InDesign, such as slideshows with the Object States panel, hyperlinks, go to page, native animations, and movies using the media panel now. And it's completely free. However, that workflow depends on you still having the InDesign file, which in the case for many book publishers is simply not the case. Books have been around a lot longer than InDesign, as you may have already have figured out. These books may not even exist digitally at all. You may have to scan these books and use OCR to create a PDF that looks like a digital replica. You may also have books made in the digital age that exist as PDF, but from who knows where. Where did they originate from? Corel, Quark, Word, PageMaker, FrameMaker, I could go on and on. This is where the value of our technology really outshines the competition. You can take these PDFs, upload them into our system, convert them to HTML, edit them, and then output searchable, selectable EPUB files made to multiple EPUB platforms. Also, using our batch processing feature, you can completely automate your EPUB process. You could literally be making hundreds of EPUBs every day. Just think about that for a second. Now that we grasp this new concept, let me show you around a little bit more. You will notice at the top of the interface, we can toggle between MAG and PDF. PDF is the old way we used to render it as text, and it still does support smart reading frames. In MAG, you can edit the text. You can, of course, edit the text, but it is not just text changes like I showed you earlier. When I click on the Advanced Settings gear, you can see that I can add hyperlinks, change the alignment of the text, make the text bold or italic, change the font, change the size, change the color, and also edit it as the source HTML that has been generated. I can also put actions on the text itself, such as a tap action that can go to web or show a pop-up. I no longer need to build invisible frames over a picture of the page since the text is now actual text. And of course, you can add a myriad of other enrichments to your documents, just as you can with our InDesign plugin. You can add audio, you can place images that'll go full screen, you can build slideshows, make buttons that go to web pages or open pop-ups, you can add video, add HTML, or even just add a new text box. Now let's talk about the export. If you build it for iBooks, we maintain the text as actual text. No other output currently supports actual searchable, selectable text, but we are working on an Amazon export that will support this type of document. For example, if you build it for Kobo, we don't maintain the text because Kobo doesn't support that, so all the files will be images. But of course, all the interactivity supported in the given store will still work. I hope that you are as excited as me about this new technology we've developed, and that this new development will spark your imagination into what is now possible from a PDF to Epub conversion workflow. As always, we welcome your comments and questions, and please feel free to reach out to us. Again, I'm Rob Underwood, and thanks for joining me for this Epub 3 to Text webinar.